Today I am going to be doing a video on the 3 knives that I use the most, the 3 EDC knives that I use the most. Now you may have seen a few days ago, or maybe a week ago, I did a video on the 3 flashlights that I use the most in my day-to-day use, going to work, going hiking, walking at night, things of that nature, hanging out on the weekend, just the normal things that we do every day in our day-to-day lives, not for backpacking, not for some of the hobbies that we have and that we do periodically. So I find it interesting, as I said in the last video, to see out of our selection of gear that we take with us, which ones we actually use the most. Now I want to make this clear, this is not necessarily my 3 favorite knives, this is just the 3 knives that I use the most. So I'd like to just talk a little bit about each knife that I have here and why I got each of them. Now as you can see, I do have some multi-tools. I have a Leatherman Wave here. This was actually a gift for me on my birthday, I believe it was. And I got this one from, like I said, as a gift. And I use it quite a bit actually. I find it a little bit too heavy to carry on my person every day. What I usually do instead is I will keep it in my vehicle. And the reason why I do that is because I find that on multi-tools I really don't use the pliers very often. And when I do need pliers at work or at home or when I'm out and about, I have a set of full-size pliers already. I have those pliers in my truck. I have them in my toolkit at home, my toolkit at work. I already have those things available to me. So most of the time I just don't need those extra pliers. So what I like to do is just keep it in my vehicle to use when needed, periodically. But it's not something that needs to be on my person. I'm always close to my vehicle. And like I said, if I need pliers somewhere, then I just go ahead and grab them from my other toolkit. So this is not one that I carry most often, so I'm going to go ahead and set it aside. I'm going to take that one out. Next up, we are going to talk about the Benchmade Volley. Now, this knife I picked up. I was at a knife store, checking out some blades, of course, and I really hadn't heard a lot about this knife. I just kind of caught my eye, and what really caught my eye is that for Benchmade, it has an extremely slim profile. The width of it is not nearly as wide as some of the other models, such as the Griptilian and some of those similar models, so that's why I picked this one up. Now, it was assisted opening, but I actually de-assisted it. Works much better, in my opinion. Actually, it was kind of coincidental because the assisted opening mechanism had somehow came undone inside of here. So I ended up just taking it out, and I actually like it a lot better. Opens up really smoothly. And I was watching some YouTube videos from, I believe Adam from Equipped to Endure was talking about this blade and how it automatically opens in your pocket if it's not locked. So let's say you have it inside of your pocket right here and you pull it out, and these thumb stud openers are a little sharp, so they like to catch onto your pants and open it. Now when it's assisted, that can be a problem because as you're pulling the knife out, it could really cut your fingers or other things that are in the path of that blade inside of your pocket. So another thing they were saying is that the lock, when it's in the lock position, the blade would come out too far. You know, it would come out of the handle, and you could cut yourself when doing that as well in your pocket. Well, what I actually did is I modified that spring. I took the knife apart when I had de-assisted it, modified the spring to where now the knife does not come out at all. So I've kind of made the knife adapt to my personal needs. It's a great knife. I do enjoy carrying it sometimes now. But it's just not one of the ones that I use the most. This is kind of a weekend carry for me. Periodically I will grab it and carry it on the weekend. But just a great knife. Haven't reviewed that one. If you guys want to see a review, let me know. But now for what we have left here. As you can see, I took that one out. Going to talk about the Stretch. Spyderco Stretch. This one I've had for a long time. Now this one, you can see it's got some wear on it. I've carried this one quite a bit. It's really lightweight. The Stretch is great. I've got a review on it. but it's really not something that I use all of the time. It's not something that I carry as often as some of my other blades. It is one of my favorite folders, especially because you get a long length with it. It's extremely comfortable in hand, has a unique design, lightweight, slim profile. Really great knife, but it's just not one of the ones that I carry most often. Now, I'm going to take this one out. You also see another Stretch up here. This is the Stretch in the Super Blue Steel Sprint Run. I picked this one up at a knife store, thought it looked cool, and as I said, I really do enjoy the Stretch, so that's why I was checking this one out. But I honestly haven't carried this one that much. I more bought it because I kind of wanted to collect it alongside my regular black Stretch so that I would have an additional one down the road, and just like I said, it just adds some collector's value having the different features of having the blue steel and the gray handle. But I do like this knife quite a bit. I just don't carry it. I just don't carry it very often, and that's what this video is about. So we are doing which knives I carry the most. So you guys can see what is left here. We have a couple little multi-tools, as well as a couple folders. Again, we're picking the 3 knives that I use the most. Not my 3 favorite, and not necessarily the 3 best, just the ones I use the most. So next knife I'm going to take out is going to be the Cadet. Now this is the Victorinox Cadet. This is another great knife. It's extremely lightweight. You can just pop it in your pocket, no issues. Has some small tools on it, a flat head as well as a can opener and a blade. And it's kind of cool. I do use it periodically, but I typically prefer carrying the Pioneer over this, honestly. I prefer the little bit bigger size and the larger tools, the better grip in hand when you're using those tools. This is great, but when you're trying to unscrew a flathead screwdriver or a flathead screw with this, it's nice to actually have a grip, and that's why I prefer the Pioneer. So we're going to take the Cadet out of the equation here. That leaves us with these 5 here. Next up, I am going to be taking out the Paramilitary 2. Wow, I just made a big mistake, you guys are thinking. Well, again, we're talking about the 3 knives that you use the most. Paramilitary 2 is great, but it's not something I can really carry to work and use. And because I spend most of my time at work and doing other things, it's really just not the knife that I use the most. I do love this knife. It's one of my favorites. It's a great folder. But I also want to add that this one had actually been to Spyderco for over a month because the detent ball fell out of the blade, so I didn't even have it to use. But had this one for quite a while and really enjoy carrying it, but it's not in the top 3. So I'm going to take this one out. Now, of what we have left here, which one am I going to take out? Let's think here. I am going to take out the Shenanigan. The CRKT Shenanigan aluminum. Again, this is an awesome knife. Really great, but I don't get to use it as much as I enjoy. I do carry this one more often than, say, something like my Paramilitary 2 because I like that metal look and feel, but it's not something that I use every day. It's more of a weekend carry for me, but this is one of my favorite knives by far. It's a great value. It's just a great knife. I really love this one. So that leaves us with the Sage in titanium, the little Victorinox right here, keychain tool, as well as the Victorinox Pioneer. Now I want to kind of explain why I use these the most and why I'm picking these. This knife right here, the Pioneer, comes with me every day. This sits in my back pocket next to my wallet. It's just always on me. It's something that I can use. Most of the time, this is what I'm carrying and using most often because it's small, it has the tools on it, it's just great to use. Now, if I need to cut something, a lot of times, I'm carrying the Sage in titanium. This is a really elegant, just really high class, awesome folder. Really enjoy it, fits my hand really well. It's comfortable to carry because it's thin, and it's one of my favorite knives, definitely. And this is the one I carry the most because I really love that wire pocket clip. And it's just comfortable to carry. It's a nice knife. Really enjoy it. And so that's pretty much why I carry these the most often. Again, these are not my favorite knives. The reason why I'm leaving this one in is because this little Victorinox is always on my keychain. I'm using the tweezers, using the toothpick even sometimes. Just another tool that I always have on me because it's always on my keychain. And that's why I use it the most. This little blade, I've opened tons and tons of boxes with this thing, or the scissors, use those as well. So again, I thought this was going to be an interesting video to look at which tools I use the most. Not necessarily my favorites, but just the ones that I actually use the most. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Maybe if you have a different point of view on some of these, let me know, and I'll be happy to hear your opinions. If you have any questions, also ask, and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you guys like the video, please do hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Do try and get videos out regularly. Blah, 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 blah. Can't talk. Alright guys, that's a good time to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.